Hi everyone, we're back for another fun project. I've come up with a couple of really nice slim bracelets because some women like to just wear a really thin bracelet, or like my pyramid bracelet, I have wearing both bracelets that I made on, and I think they look really nice together. Even though they're different colors, they still look really good. So this one, you may want to do the same thing. You may want to make a couple of these and different colors and wear them all together, all of them. It's actually really pretty, very slim, very lightweight and elegant. Now for this bracelet, you will need some 8mm beads. You will need some O beads. Now, I know a lot of people do not have O beads, so if you don't have an O bead, I used 3 of them here. In place of this, you could probably get away with an 8/0 and 2 15s. Where I put the O beads, you can put an 8/0 and 2 15s, or you can try just a 6/0. A 6/0 may not be big enough, but play with it. If you don't like to have the O beads, try anything else in there, just filling in the gaps here, and you'll see as we go. So if you don't have O beads, that's cool. This is Crystal Labrador full, and this is a 9-gram tube. Because it's got the silvery finish on it, it's going to be a more expensive bead. So this was $6.99, and you buy these from the Potomac Bead Company. You can actually get them pretty much online anywhere now. Even Beadaholic has them as well. But I'm finding that in comparison to the Potomac Bead Company, I did shop around. If you look, most of them are in 5-gram and 8-gram tubes or bags. And they're usually the same price as this. Bear in mind, this is a 9-gram tube. So you're getting a 1 gram more than some of them for basically the same price. It all depends on the finish of the bead is what you're going to pay for. So the most of the plain ones, they're just like $4.99 or something like that, so I remember that. I am using a silver-lined sapphire Toho seed bead. I am using 4mm round crystals. These are just Preciosa. They're not Swarovski crystals, but they work just fine. So they're actually very pretty color, pretty beads. You will need a button. I am again using a cup button, and I just love this blue color of this cup button. It's called White Baby Blue Luster. You can actually get super duos in this color too. You will need 4mm fire polish beads, same size as your round beads. You'll see how we do this. You can change up your beads in here, in your bracelet here, and put whatever you want in a 4mm or 5, 6, whatever you've got on hand. Now, one thing I forgot to grab out is the needles. This is going to be a right angle weave bracelet, so you will need 2 beading needles. So I'm going to pull 2 needles out. And I'm just using a size 10 beading needle, okay? So you need two beading needles, and you're going to need 6 or 8 pound Fireline. Works perfectly for this bracelet. These cup buttons, again, I will mention that you can only get these from the Potomac Bead Company, and there will be a link right there. And you can purchase yourself some cup buttons. This package of 5 is $3.99. So this again will make you 5 bracelets. These are beautiful beads. I can't even explain to you how gorgeous the cup buttons are, but they are gorgeous. Anyway, that's it for your ingredients that you're going to need to make this bracelet. You will need a pair of scissors. And I'm going to dump all my beads and come back. Okay, this is like a really fun, easy project to do. You're going to put your needle on both ends, so 1 needle on each end of your thread. And when you fold them over, try to get them even. here with your tails, okay? So on one needle, you're going to pick up an 8/0 of fire polish and an 11/0. So this is what I have on my needle, an 8/0 of fire polish, 11/0. Now you're going to pick up another 4mm on one needle, slide it off the needle, and then cross your needles through, cross your needle back through like that, through the 4mm. Put your two needles together because this is your first stitch and you want to center this on your thread. And that's all you have to do. Okay? So, now for this very first stitch, you're going to end up having 3 fire polish here, which is fine, not a big deal. No one's going to sit there and count your fire polish. So on your right needle, because this is my right hand here and this is my left. So on my right side is the 11/0, on my left side is the 8/0. Okay, so we want to pick up an 11/0 on this side and an 8/0 on this side. And now you're going to pick up one more fire polish, let it go off the needle, and then cross your needle through it the other way. And then just tighten it up. Like so. So this is what you should have. So you should have 2 8/0s and 2 11/0s on each side matching, okay? Now we're going to make our little wave. So on this right needle where the 11/0s are, you're going to pick up an 8/0. You're going to pick up an 11/0 on your left needle. And now you're going to work with your blue crystal or your round crystals. So I'm going to pick up one crystal. I'm going to let it go off the needle. And then I'm going to cross my needle through the crystal like so. And bring that down. And now you have this. So now we have an 8/0 on this side, so we're going to pick up an 8/0 on our right, 11/0 on our left, and a crystal. And I'm picking up a round, 4mm round crystal. Let it fall off your needle, and then run your needle, other needle through it the other way. And then bring that down. And pull it tight. So this is what you have. Now we've got 2 blue, or 2 8/0s, 2 8/0s, and 2 11/0s. So now, and we've got, don't count this first one, but now you've got 2 crystals in here. Now we're going to go back to our blue fire polish. So on my right hand now, we've done our 2, so pick up an 11/0. On the left, you're going to pick up an 8/0. And you're going to pick up another 4mm fire polish. Let it fall off the needle and go back through it the other way with your needle, your other needle. And bring it down and pull tight. So now your 8/0 is on this side. So pick up an 8/0 on your left, because we only have one in that group, 11/0 on your right, another fire polish on your left or right, whatever's easier for you, and we're going to crisscross through that 4mm fire polish, like so. And pull tight. Alright, so now we're just going to, this is just a repetitive pattern all the way down your entire bracelet. So let's pick up, now we've done our 2 here. We're going to switch up the stones in the middle and switch sides for the 11/0 and 8/0. So on my right, I'm going to pick up an 8/0. On my left, I'm going to pick up 11/0. And then I'm going to pick up a round crystal. And then I'm going to cross my needles through the middle crystal, the blue one. And then I'm going to bring those down and tighten that up nice and tight. Okay, an 8/0 on my left, or an 8/0 on my right, 11/0 on my left, and a blue crystal on my left. Bring it off the needle and cross your needle in the opposite direction through that middle bead, and then pull like so. Don't pull too tight that you buckle your bracelet. Just pull it nice so it's in place like this, stays flat. Okay, so this is what you're going to do for the length of your bracelet. In this case, I've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I have 23 Czech fire polish, and 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 20 of the round. And this bracelet here, I'm going to make it in the exact same color as this one, or color, exact same amount of beads as this one. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing my little tiny sections here. So I have, this is my beginner, and so this will count as 3. And then I have the crystals, and then I have the fire polish and the crystals, and I'm just going to keep alternating all the way down this bracelet until I get it to the length I need, but leave room to add your closure, of course. Like I tell you on every bracelet, you need to leave enough room to add about, I would say, a good 1.25 inches, maybe an inch for a closure. So if you're a 7-inch bracelet, make it 6 inches long. You can always adjust it in this area here if it's too small, okay? Or if it's too big too. So don't go overboard. Just judge, put this around your wrist or measure it, because this won't tighten up. You won't lose length when we add the beads along the side, okay? And I'll come back after I've gotten the length that I need of this right angle weave. It's very simple. I'll show you one more time. So I've done my 2 8/0s here, so now I'm going to alternate, change it to 11/0 on my right, an 8/0 on my left, and now we're into the fire polish. And we're going to pick up a fire polish, slide that off, and go through the fire polish with your other needle in the opposite direction. And then you're going to just pull that in place nicely. Okay, and one more time. 11/0 on the right, 8/0 on my left, and a fire polish on my left. Bring that down and go through your fire polish in the opposite direction and pull. Like so. Okay? And now you're just going to begin to do your 8s and alternate it all the way down. And I'll be back. Okay, so I'm at the end of this bracelet now, and I measured this piece here from one end to the other, and this is 7 inches in length right here. So to get this 7 inches, if you're making an 8-inch bracelet, you need 23 rows. If you start it the same way I did, you'll have 23 fire polish, and you should have 20 round crystals in your bracelet. Now if you want it smaller, if you want a 6 or 7 inch bracelet, you're going to not make it this long. You're going to cut it off at least an inch off of here, so you can make your your toggle, your closure, this thing, cup button. Now we're at the end of our bracelet where we're going through here. So now we're going to do our little embellishing, and I need my you need your O-rings for this, or your O beads, or your 6 O's, whatever you're going to use. Just try and play with some beads in here, and you'll see the shape that we're going to form when we start adding beads in here. So first off, you're going to pick up one 11-O, and you're going to exit through the 11-O on this side where I'm exiting here. Keeping in mind you need to pull that a little tight. You're going to pick up another 11-O and exit into the next 11-O, pulling it quite nice and taut. Pick up one more 11-O, and now you're going to exit in an 8-O. So you have on this side 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have 5 11-O's on this side here. Okay? Now you're going to pick up 3 O-rings, or whatever beads you're using. I'm using O beads, and I'm just going to exit into the next 8-O and pull, and just sit those O-rings, O beads, on this side. Now I'm going to work on this next side, so I'm going to put my needle in my mat, turn my work around, and now I'm going to pick up one 11-O. I'm working with my other needle now because I want to work together all the way down so my bracelet stays uniform. You're going to exit right into the 8-O with one 11-O on your needle and pull. You're going to pick up 3 O-rings, O beads, and you're going to exit into the next 11-O, or 8-O, sorry. And you're going to put those in place there. Now you're going to be in between your 8-O's, so you're going to pick up one 11-O, and you're going to stick an 11-O between all your beads after your 8-O, pulling this nice and tight. Pick up an 11-O, exit through the next 11-O. Pick up an 11-O, and exit through the 8-O. So there should be 3 beads you're adding in where the 11-O's are, and 3 beads in here. So pull that tight. So now you're going to pick up 3 of your O beads, or whatever beads you're using again, and you're going to exit into the next 8-O. So between your 8-O's, you're putting O beads or 6 O's or whatever it is you're doing. Then you're going to get a little bit down your bracelet, you're going to switch sides, and then you can do both sides down this bracelet together. So now I'm exiting out of my 8-O. I'm going to pick up an 11-O and go into the next 11-O, like so. Pick up an 11-O, go into the next 11-O. Pick up an 11-O, go into the next 8-O. So I've put my 3 beads in place there. So now I'm between my 8-O's here. So I'm going to pick up 3 O beads and exit in the 8-O. Whoops. Like so. And now I'll go maybe one more section. So pick up an 11-O, exit through the 11-O. Pick up an 11-O, exit through the 11-O. That's 2 I've put on. Pick up an 11-O and exit through the 8-O. And now I'm going to switch sides. And this is where your wave will come into play right here. You'll see your bracelet starting to wave. So I'm just switching my needles, putting my left one in the mat, and turning my work around so it doesn't get messy and confusing. Exiting out of the 8-O, you're going to pick up an 11-O. Pick up another 11-O, exit through the 11-O. So I'm putting on 3 11-Os, like so, and one more. And then exit into your 8-O, keeping your work pulled taut. and pick up 3 O beads and exit into your 8O. Alright, so that's all you're going to do all the way down your bracelet, and you should get your really pretty wave right there. Once you get to the other end, I'll come back and show you how to sew your closure on. So I'll be back after I get this section done. So continue doing this all the way down, alternating back and forth your needles. Okay, so your work stays even. And I'll be back. Okay, I've reached the end of my bracelet, and now we're going to sew our cup button on. So I'm still coming out of the last beads I put on the edge here. So I'm going to pick up one 11/0, and I'm going to exit through the fire polish. And I'm going to pick up the other needle, pick up an 11/0, and exit through the fire polish as well. Like so. Try not to pull your bracelet super tight that you warp it. Alright, see, mine's not warped, but if you pull it really tight, you're going to warp all your beads in the middle here. So don't do that. You know, give it a little bit of leeway here. Now you're going to take one of your needles. Okay. You're going to pick up 4 beads. And you're going to make a circle. So you're just going to go back through your fire polish making a circle, like so. And that's what you'll have. Now, I'm going to try and get this other one out of my way for now. Now you're going to go back up into these beads, the 4 beads that you put on, like that. Drop down and pick up this other bead that you put on in the previous round. So grab this bead and then exit through your fire polish. We're just kind of reinforcing this area. And now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pick up that previous bead you put on. You're going to exit in the middle 2 beads. So there's 2 beads here in the middle, and those are the 2 beads you want to, or sorry, the one you're going to exit through, actually 3 beads. So if you count, there's 3 on this side and there's 3 on this side. Now you're going to pick up one 11/0. You're going to pick up your really beautiful cup button, because I really love these cup buttons. Alright. I'm going to pick up one 11/0, one O bead, and one 11/0. And that one's got a closed end on it. And now I'm going to go through the second hole, go down through the second hole of my cup button, like so, and pull those in place. I'm going to pick up another 11/0. I'm exiting out of this one, so now I want to exit out of, go into 1 bead at the bottom here. I'm kind of going to do this herringbone feeling kind of stitch. So I'm exiting here, and I'm going to go back up so I can reinforce this a couple times. So go back up into the 1 11/0, pulling this in place. Then you're going to go through that bead that you put on below your cup button here, and then back up into all your beads in your cup button. So through the O bead and your C bead, and back down the hole again, and go drop down into these 2 beads below your cup button. And we're going to reinforce this one more time. So I'm exiting here, go across and go up into these 2 beads. So it would be 2 beads and your cup button and the bead you have on top, if you can get your needle in that. There we go, I caught it, like so. Pulling tight, in through your O bead, and dropping down the other side into the seed bead, the cup button, and drop all the way down. So that's good and reinforced. Now you're going to go through the 2 beads here, the 2 beads on the side. So there's 1, and there's 2. Ooh, that one's a little tight. Sometimes seed beads have smaller holes, especially with this silver lining. I don't want to break that bead, so it's going to break on me. So I'm going to just exit through the fire polish instead. I don't want to break that bead. And everything's all nice and tight. So now I'm just going to work my way down through some beads here. And I'm going to tie off this one end, because this one I'm finished with. Keeping everything pulled nice and tight. I'm going to go through some O beads, and then I'm going to start tying off in where these 11 O's are. Actually, I'm going to tie off, yeah, right there. So make a loop, and I'm going to go twice into the loop, and I'm going to pull this nice and tight. Holding on to my other thread, because that's going to loosen your work. And then I'm just going to exit through all these beads. Pulling that knot inside, kind of. And right there, I'm going to exit before the 8/0. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do a double loop here. Surgeon's knot. Pull it nice and tight. And then exit through the O bead and pull that knot inside. And just keep doing that for as many times, as many knots as you want. I'm a knot queen. And that's it. So now I'm just going to weave through some beads and cut this one off. Should be good to go. Alright, let's cut her off. So, get that cut off. And she's good. So we're done with one needle. This one here has my long thread on it, so all I'm going to do, instead of wasting all this thread, I'm just going to run my needle right across from here all the way till I'm exiting over here again, so we can sew the other piece of our closure on. Alright, so I'm going to do that off camera, and I'm going to come back just weaving through all these beads, because my thread's definitely long enough and I'm not going to waste it, and I'll be back. Okay, now I've managed to weave all my thread through to the other end, and I still have a substantial amount of thread left to finish my closure. So you're going to pick up on this end 1 seed bead, and you're going to exit through your crystal, putting an extra seed bead in there. And now you're going to pick up 5 seed beads, and you're just going to make a circle, because we don't have another thread now to come back through here, so we'll just do it this way to make it easier. Now you're going to go back up through so we have 2. Okay, I'm wondering why there's a thing there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these seed beads off, because I don't like it sticking out like that. So let me just go back through here to my fire polish, or not my fire polish, my crystal. Without snagging my thread would be fantastic, but I think I'm going to snag it. I always do. Let's see if we could do this. Of course not. I snagged my thread somewhere in here. So let's see where it's snagged. Oh, I see. It's just underneath there. Oh, cow. There. Oh my God, I snagged it. Wow. See if this did it. Yes. All right. Oopsies. Let's take one bead off because I had one too many. All right. Now let's go through here, our crystal. That's better. I wanted it snug up against the crystal. And now you're going to exit through the first 2 beads. So you want to be on the top here so you can do again the if you feel more comfortable going through these again, then by all means do it. Go through them one more time. That'll snug them all up nice. And through here. There you go. And through the first, oopsies, first 3 beads. 1, 2, 3. That's what we wanted. All right, so it's making our, this is another place where you want to measure the length of your bracelet to see how long you need to make it. And I'm not going to do too much herringbone on this one. So you're coming out of your 3rd bead on the side here, and you're going to go down in there, the next bead beside it, and then you're going to come up your bead that you have already on your base, and you're going to come up through one of your new beads you put on, the ones that are supposed to be sitting side by side. So I'm going to turn my work around because it'll make it easier for me to come up through this bead and the bead I put on. So I can do, oops, and pull this tight. Exit down into this bead. Oops. What am I doing? Kind of need to put some beads on there, Rube. Pick up 2 seed beads. And go back down. And up into, you're going to go down 1, up 2. Because you're going to go up through the new one you just put on. So pick up 2 more, down 1, and up 2. So it'll be this one and the new one. So I'm just going to try this on, seeing how much bigger I need to make it. So I need to go a couple more. So pick up 2, 11 O's, down 1, and you're going to go up 2 beads and pull. 2 more, down 1, and up 2. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick up 2 more, go down 1. I keep turning it because I just find it easier being right-handed to work from this side, and up 2. Now I'm going to try this on again because a few seed beads. Let me take this old bracelet off, this other one off. And let me try this on. So this is perfect. Oopsies, drop beads everywhere. Now we're going to pick up enough beads to go through our, so our cup button fits in it. So let's start with 20. Okay, we've got a bummed bead here. Alright, so we have 20. Let's see if our cup button, no, I'm going to put 22. I think 22 works perfectly. So you've put your beads on one end. Now you're going to go down 2, 3 beads, whatever you want. 2, 3, 4, and we're just going to go and reinforce this loop we just made. Okay, so we're going to go across and back up into all our beads. Make sure you go across and go up in the same way, same place where you're exiting. Don't go up that bead because you'll show a thread going through that. And it'll just look awful. Simple as that. And then you'll be upset because you've got a thread showing. Whoopsies. So, let's pull this tight. And before we do an actual sew, put your cup button through and see if it fits without any problem. And of course it does. Okay, so I'm just reinforcing this. I'm going to try and go through it. This will be my second time. I would like to go through it 3 times. Pull it nice and tight. And I think I'll go down one more bead. Yeah, maybe 2. What the heck. Take 2, they're small. Okay. Cross over. Go up and around one last time. So your loop is absolutely secure. Then we're going to tie off our thread and we have, ta-da, a finished bracelet. Come on, don't fail me now. Alright, so my thread is running pretty short here, so I think I'm going to start tying off right here in this herringbone stitch. So I'm just going to go between the 2 beads where I'm exiting and that out of there. Wow, get out. Alright. And I'm going to make half hitch knot in here. And I think I'm going to wrap my loop twice for my first knot. Good and tight. And then I'm going to go down a couple of beads, a few beads. Not too far because my thread is very short and I want to have enough to tie at least another good knot. And that knot pulled nicely inside of the seed bead, so looks good. Let's do this again between, oops, your herringbone. 1 and 2 and nice and tight. Alright, so let's just go weaving through some beads now. I think it's good and secured, but oops, there we go. So let's cut this off. And there you have your done bracelet. And let me see if I can get it put on without screaming. Ooh, that is tight, but I wanted it tight, and that's the way it should be. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous bracelet. A little bit of sparkle, not a lot. I'm not too sure what I did here, but I have a thread here. Well, nobody's perfect. Sometimes I don't even see a thread snagging. Like you can see it literally snagged around this bead here, and I did not catch it. So it's like literally on both sides of this cup button. And I don't want to cut it, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it. Try to tuck it in behind the fire polish if I can. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and you give me a thumbs up and you make lots of these fun bracelets. I really recommend you guys getting some of these cup buttons if you haven't gotten any already. They are beautiful and they're really nice for matching your cup button to your crystals you use, the colors you use. It's gorgeous. Anyways, I'll see you guys soon on the next video. Have a great day. Bye everyone.